everybody, it's Dara, and I am about to make a raw food lunch because I have someone coming over to discuss a project. It's a bit of a meeting, and I always like to offer a hot tonic and something beautiful to eat. And then what I do, since I didn't go specifically shopping for this event, I pulled out whatever I have in the refrigerator, which is what many of us have to do. We have to make do with what we have. We may go to the store or the farmer's market with a recipe in mind, and then what about the next day and the next day? So very few of us are just recipe following, going to the market. That's nice too. When you're getting used to making raw food, it's a good idea to just get used to it, but it's also a really better idea to be used to what do you do if your market doesn't have what the recipe calls for. Let's learn how to substitute, let's learn how to flavor balance, let's learn how to make do with what we have. So today what I have is, I have some gorgeous things here, I must admit. I have citrus, which is really essential for creating brightness in a recipe, whether you're making a chopped salad or, very oftentimes we need a lift. So please keep fresh citrus in the house. If you can't, apple cider vinegar is an amazing alternative. It will give brightness. So don't despair if you can't or run out of citrus. Now I love to have leafy greens. So many of us can get organic romaine, organic celery, organic carrots, but as far as leafy greens, get the darkest you can get. If you get kale, just know that you want to massage it to kind of break down the enzymes and then chop it up, and then you can, massage it with olive oil and lemon juice to break it down, to make it easier and more fun to chew and easier to digest. For those of you who have slow thyroid, supposedly it's a good idea to steam the kale, but for me, breaking it down via my hands or in the blender is fine. And I'm a believer that the benefits of kale outweigh whatever lowering the uptake of iodine. So if you are eating a lot of kale, eat a lot of dulse. Take a little iodine, nascent iodine, N-A-S-C-E-N-T. So I have some lettuce I got at Maggie's Farms. I also got a great deal on sprouts. Now for those of you who are living in, an area where there isn't an abundance of fresh greens, you can grow alfalfa sprouts and mung bean sprouts really easily. Supposedly, I have some friends here and our family members who are saying you can grow sunflower sprouts without soil. I've never done it, but go ahead and try it. These are the sunflower sprouts. So when I see them, I buy them because I'm really not going to be growing these right now. It's just me. So if you have a big family, by all means, you got to learn how to do things inexpensively, in abundance. I think I should go to music. I like having some music on. I usually do have music going when I'm prepping in the kitchen, but when I'm making videos, and sometimes it's distracting, and plus maybe you can't post your video, I don't know. So anyway, the point of the matter is we are up to sprouts. So I have sunflower, I have alfalfa, I have leafy greens, I also have microgreens I got at the market. So this could all be a beautiful salad with a beautiful dressing. This could also be a beautiful salad that we chop up and we put into paleo wraps, or into collard greens or chard to have more of like a sandwich thing. And when you do that, you're kind of satisfying. Some people get sick of eating salads every day. I personally don't really ever. I love salads, but if I'm feeding someone and I want it to feel a little heartier, then I can pull out a couple things. Paleo wraps. These are all made from coconut. So you can put a chopped salad with avocado inside here. You can even put a tahini or an almond butter dressing to kind of give it a thickness and oomph, satisfying kind of, I just had something that felt way far beyond raw food. These are spring roll rice wrappers. You can get these. These are non-GMO, gluten-free, low-calorie, easy 6-inch diameter. These get wet. They're very crunchy. They will break if you bend them in half. But once you wet them for half a minute, and you put them on a towel, then you can put your goodies inside. By goodies, I mean something that's creamy and crunchy and greens, and it could have onions in it, it could have tomatoes, You can make your kids one with just a little bit of greens and some avocado and some maybe some tahini sauce. Tahini with coconut aminos to give it an Asian flair. Tahini, maple syrup, or coconut. Okay, tahini, coconut nectar, coconut aminos, pinch of salt, maybe a little cayenne, enough for the kids, and that's going to give you a sauce. Okay, that could be a great dressing as well. I have some macadamia nut. This is my mascarpone cream. There's a recipe video, and to me this can go sweet or savory because it's kind of sour. It's been fermented, it's been cultured with probiotics. Basically that just means that I took macadamia nuts and cashews, blended it with water, put probiotics in, and left it out overnight, so it kind of starts culturing and fermenting, sort of eating itself, so it helps you digest it better, and it gives it like a sour creamy kick, or a mascarpone if you want it for something sweet. This has been about 4 days, so it's definitely got a kick. And that's nice. That could be a base of my dressing. I could add tahini to this. That would be nice. I love tahini because you get calcium. You know, the sesame seeds, I really just have a thing for sesame seeds. Probably because when I was little, my grandmother always had these sesame candies wrapped in little plastic wrappers with twists at the end, and it just reminds me of her. And I love my grandma Sylvia so much. So instead of the paleo wraps and the rice wraps, I have the savory crepes that I made, and I've made these over a week ago, and they are fine. They are more than fine. They're fresh, they're delicious, and I think I'm going to serve a cream on here, chop up my salad really fine so it's easy to eat, put some avocado on top, and I can just serve it on a plate with a knife and fork. So here I go. Those of you who want to hang in for the duration, by all means. Those of you who want to have a short video, I don't know, go to the end and see what I did. Imagine I can list the ingredients if I have time. Oh gosh, I keep forgetting to mention my ebook is out. My very first ebook on tonics. And many of you know that I could not be raw all of these years, 9 years plus, if I didn't have Chinese herbs. And I have the Chinese herbs in these creamy, dreamy hot drinks that I have every morning and probably every afternoon. I heat some up, and then every night I have a sleepy time one. So I have about 10 gorgeous, tried and true, perfected, and I did not let this go out until they were perfect, recipes with pictures. And the beautiful thing about the tonic ebook is that the extra beautiful thing is that every single ingredient that I favor, and I only use the best, like the highest integrity, there's a link where you can click on the ingredient and it will take you to the shopping cart where you can get those things for yourself. You can build your apothecary slowly. You could do the simplest coffee substitute and get yourself off of coffee and be uplifted and excited. So I'm really excited about that because I will tell you it took a long time and a lot of work. It was actually really surprising. So if you want the ebook, go to DARA'S, my website, and you will see it. And I have something else really exciting. I'm all into tonics because I know that raw food helps detoxify my body. Raw food gives me energy, vitality, energy to work out. It prevents disease, like for real. You could see my dad, Herbie, de-aging in front of your eyes. I don't know what I'm doing with this cauliflower. I didn't even tell you I had cauliflower, but I am absolutely looking forward to cauliflower popcorn, but maybe after this. So, tonics. The thing about it is that I'm going to tell you the thing about tonics is that they're so good for you, right? Like reishi calms and lifts the spirit, and chaga literally can regraft. Chaga mushroom can regraft a tree that's been split. It's completely regenerating. And so chaga can prevent the diseases that are occurring so readily in our society. I wanted to light this candle. I've been meaning to, but I don't see a lighter handy. So then, like, you look at eucomium, it's a bark of a tree, and it's kind of rubbery, and it helps our joints. And there's sustanch and epimedium for libido. And I have all these tonics blended into, like, gorgeous flavors like caramel goji and vanilla peppermint and coffee, like a mocha one. And so that is for people who like making them at home. And clearly, I have been making these for 9 years every day, 2 or 3 times a day, and coming up with my favorite mixes, which you have in the ebook. And there's 2 versions. There's like a PDF, like proper design version, and a simpler one. But I like to mix and match. I like to do my own thing, but I also have the time. I work from home. I do it from home. And a lot of people are boom, up, out the door. It's all they can do to get their kids ready. So what I did, and it's not out yet, it's being mixed this week, and it's been a long time in the works, is there's a tonic lime, a tonic blend. So in a little coffee bag, you have the highest quality herbs that I put in with a mix so that it tastes good. So all you have to do is take a scoop and put it in hot water. So for those of you who want to make them at home, get the ebook. And for those of you who can't be bothered with that, you're going to have a blend ready to go, on the go. Okay, so I'm really excited about that because I'm a huge believer in these tonic herbs. And there's so many experts on it. I think I'm like the girl who makes them taste good. I want to make them creamy and dreamy and delicious so that we do incorporate them every day. And it's something that we look forward to nurture ourselves, to really, really give ourselves something so divine. I brought one to my friend Madhuji, my spiritual advisor friend. And he was so tickled with it because he said, I want to stop in Starbucks, I want a hot chocolate, but I don't let myself because I know it's bad for me, but I can drink this and feel good. And that's the whole point. It's like, not only are you drinking something that's so delicious. Here's my mug. Here's one of my mugs. This is my Mendocino mug. I'm doing a giveaway on More with Dara, and the recipient will win. This has a lid. It's a to-go coffee mug, handmade by this man, Chris. But this is my thing every day, and whatever I don't drink, I heat up and I drink it later. So I'm just going to chop things, so that makes it easier if I decide to put it in or on my savory raw crepe. So I want you guys to go ahead, please, if you have a dehydrator, please start making them, because it just adds another element. It's like when you have a salad and you get to have bread with coconut oil on it, or a savory crepe, it's like biting into it. The sweet crepes yesterday, you'll see on Instagram, Dara Dubinet. On Instagram, I posted a picture. I took a sweet crepe and I put in the mascarpone, and then I put in some Romeo hazelnut chocolate butter. It's like a chocolate hazelnut cream, and I put that in. I took a bite out of it, and I thought, I have to show this. This is like a chocolate cream sandwich. So there's so many variations that we can do with many of the same ingredients. I mean, the crepes, these crepes are made out of coconut, and I use coconut powder, coconut flakes. I didn't even use fresh because I wanted you guys to be able to make it without bothering with the fresh coconuts, because they're unwieldy. Not everybody can get them, but you can always have coconut powder in the house. You can always have flax in the house, and zucchini. How easy is that? So I want to encourage you, if you're really interested in a plant-based lifestyle, you don't need to be 100% raw, but having a dehydrator enables us to make these things that are like soft and chewy. I could bite into this. I could put like a cashew cream cheese with salt and pepper, and I'm feeling like I'm eating something that's my pre-raw days. There you go. And you can't buy something like this in the store. I'll tell you why. Because if I had to sell this in the store, this would have too much moisture for packaging. This would get moldy, right? So this is the freshest of the fresh, and I get to dehydrate it just to the point where I like it, not to the point where it has to have a shelf life. So that's why I'm here every day showing you how to do this at home, because there's just some things that are not as good packaged. They're just not. I'm gonna cut up alfalfa. I'm gonna chop. You know I love my new knife. I'm gonna put it on I'm gonna put it on my store. Put it on my store, on my website. For the tools that I favor, I'm pretty picky about cutting boards. I'm picky about knives. I'm picky about just about everything. Picky or particular, or I don't know, discerning. I'll chop some of this. It's going to be a green extravaganza, and I'm thinking spirulina might come into play. I could just make it all, really mix it up with spirulina and orange juice. And the spirulina and orange juice, I have a dressing like that. It gets kind of like a nutty. It gives it like a fatty kind of thing without adding a lot of over fat. Yeah? Can you tell I love my veggies? Can you tell I love sharing how, like the tips and tricks, how to make it easy, you know, how to make it fun, how to make it doable, this raw food, plant-based lifestyle that gives us like youth, energy, beauty, prevents disease, vitality. Did I say libido? Because it works. You know, if you go and eat a big old Italian meal from the olden days, and then you think you're going to go home after your date, you're going to feel tired. But if you eat something gorgeous like this, in this, with a beautiful raw chocolate, or a chocolate tonic that enhances libido, I have a libido enhancing tonic, you're good to go and have some fun. So, and that is part of life. I don't want everybody to forget about that part. That part is like, love is like, love is warming from the inside out. Making love is like love from the inside out as well. It's sort of like, I don't know, an internal massage. So before I go any further on that, I'm going to show you, here we have this so far. So we have our greens. I'm going to add some more because I'm hungry. And I have them and I'm going to use them. So what we decide after we have our fiber, this is our fiber and our chlorophyll, and our protein, because leafy greens have amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. So anybody who says, but where do you get your protein? And I just say, not from animals, from what I eat. My leafy greens, my nuts, my seeds, certainly not protein deficient. I'm not deficient in anything. I'll let you know how my blood test from yesterday goes, but last time, not deficient at all. So now what happens is you've got your greens. It's time to address it with three things. Citrus, a fat, if you so desire, and flavoring, right? So a little bit of salt. Okay, so we got our citrus. Now I'm looking at this ginger and turmeric shot. People say, well, and cayenne. This is from Rejuice. They sent this to me. I ordered juices, and Ron, such a good company. Everything's in glass bottles. Look, I'm drinking my green juice like a good girl. And I've noticed a difference since I've been juicing a lot. So this is ginger. Maybe has turmeric in it. Those are both a root. They can both be juiced. And cayenne. This is a great thing to add to a dressing, just so you know. The ginger is anti-inflammatory. So if you have any inflammation in your body from an injury, from arthritis, from eating a lot of bread, is inflammatory, gluten. This is what got my dad's arthritis gone. Okay, so we want to add ginger and turmeric into our diets. So here we go for the dressing for the greens. We want a fat. That could be olive oil, coconut oil, beautiful walnut oil, the finest oils, cold pressed, extra virgin, definitely organic, fine oils. We don't want to put in anything rancid into our bodies. And just a little bit goes a long way. Another fat could be these gorgeous avocados. It could be blended hemp seed. Hemp seeds are a beautiful fat. Tahini is a beautiful fat. Ground sesame seeds. Almond butter. So there's a myriad of different things we can do to make the greens palatable. So then we have our fat, right? And then we want to have a citrus. So we can use lemon, oranges, lime, apple cider vinegar works. Then I'll want to add something sweet to balance it. It could be maple syrup, not raw, honey, not vegan. Could be coconut nectar, raw and vegan, pretty much raw and vegan. Use your sweetener of choice, coconut sugar, right? Dates are a very wholesome, natural sweetener, but you're gonna have to blend it, right? So get out your little mini food processor. Let me see if we're still on. Oh yes, we are. Okay, that's good. So we are going to, so sweetener. And then I'm looking at these shallots, so I'm thinking flavor, right? We want to add flavor. We could have garlic, we could have curry, we could have cayenne, we could have oregano, we could go Mexican, we could go Italian, we can go Asian, depending on our flavor combinations. So I like to have a little bit of shallot. A little bit of shallot in my life is nice. and I have them, and I love, love, love using what I have. Nothing makes me happier than doing a good farmer's market run and using everything. I absolutely cannot stand waste, so I am going to use what I have. My trick is I keep the bowl in the middle of the island. That reminds me that I have the produce. If it's off to the side, it kind of just sits there. So I let it stand front and center and talk to me. It talks to me. The smells. You could saute your onions or shallots if you want to. It's nice sometimes to do raw fusion because I do that a lot with mushrooms because you don't want to eat, some mushrooms you can eat raw, but the ones I like, shiitake, maitake, oyster, they need to be cooked. So I will saute them with coconut oil. Many of you have seen that. And that gives a sizzle to the kitchen and a smell and aroma like the old days, and it really can make the house feel heartwarming. I have tomatoes that have been sitting here a while. I'm not that interested in them. I have salt. Now I'm going to mix the dressing separate because I'm going to use a tahini or an almond butter, and that needs to be mixed. So I'm going to put in some salt. I'm going to use some of this ginger. You could buy ginger juice. There's a company that sells ginger juice organic at the market. It may be flash pasteurized, I'm not sure, but you can get the ginger flavor. Okay. Okay, my almond butter came out first. Artisanal Organic seems to be there's a couple really nice companies. I love Essential Living Foods. Theirs is kind of fluffy, like they added something to it, and just taking a bite of it is just gorgeous. Living Tree Community, amazing. There's a lot of really good ones. The ideal thing with almond butter, and it's best to make your own because at home, we know we can get almonds that are raw. So Italian almonds, when they say they're raw, they're raw. When they're from California, unless they're purchased in small batches at the farmer's market, or I buy mine from sunorganics.com, a lot of times they passed a law, not a lot of times, they did pass a law saying that California, it's really sad, had to pasteurize their almonds because a couple of people got sick. Thousands and thousands of people are getting sick off McDonald's, but a couple of cases of salmonella, and all of a sudden we can no longer buy raw living almonds. So that means that if you buy an uncooked or unroasted almond, you put it in the ground, it's not going to sprout. So it's really important to find the sprouting kind of almonds, the ones that are still alive. And then it's important to sprout them, and not all nut butters have been sprouted. They might have the raw almonds and they grind them into a butter, but for me, I would prefer it to be soaked overnight, rinse, drain, then dehydrated, then ground into a butter. That's the real deal. And you'll pay a lot more for that, but you just need a little much and you're getting so much life. So that's what I want to say about that. We definitely are going to have some orange because I have a lot of oranges here. And so these things that happen, it's unfortunate, but we need to be in the know about certain things. I'm posting a link below. A friend of mine has alerted me to the fact of a company about labeling and non-GMO and all of that. And it's something I want you guys to read. So I'm going to post it in the link below. And we want to be aware. We can't just trust, just because something is a supplement doesn't mean that it doesn't have something in it that's not good for us. There's plenty of supplements on the market that are not. So we have to go with the highest integrity and support the companies that are using the highest integrity ingredients. I would never make a blend of anything that wasn't something that I would eat. And I'm picky, I want to be as particular as possible with what I put into my body. There's enough things that I've done in my life that I can't undo, but I can certainly undo them. I can reverse a bit. I can reverse a bit of aging and reverse a bit of toxicity, a lot of toxicity. So, okay, now we need some sweet. And you know what? I'm going to use, because I know you could use a bit of honey. A lot of vegan, no way, not honey, but if it's raw, locally sustainable honey, I just used a touch of agave, just like a titch, just to boost the flavor. So that's an option. And I have my coconut aminos. So this is different than my savory mushroom crepes, right? This one's a teriyaki. So with my savory mushroom crepes, I took the crepes and I went the onion and mushroom route. But now I'm kind of going an Asian route. A little ginger, it's gorgeous. It needs something. It needs a little salt. It needs more citrus. And it may need lemon for, orange will give it a kick. We'll give it sweetness and a little bit of citrus, but the lemon will really give it that brightness I'm looking for. Yeah, that's it. Use fork. Sharing food. If you're making food at home, you can use your fork, take a bite. When you're making food for other people, and when you're a chef, you can't do that. Sometimes it happens by mistake. We're all human. All right. What you can do is take it on the back of your hand and go like that. Oh yeah, that is so good. Amazing. A little titch more sweet and we're good. Gorgeous. I think honey would have been my preferred, but I heard all the vegans going, so I want to call this recipe raw vegan. So in doing so, I have to use something that's less healthy than honey. Kind of doesn't make sense, but whatever. A little bit. It's funny. Let's call yourself a vegan, I don't know. It's like I eat healthy. I do a really pretty good job for the planet here. I'm not, I'm gonna mix. And then we'll see if I need to add some more greens. I have a lot of dressing here. Gorgeous. Green onions, scallions would be fantastic. But I'm not complaining. I got from JJ Farms at the farmer's market on Wednesdays in Arizona the most gorgeous avocados on the planet. I think I'm going to put some in here as well. So depending on, you make your dressing potent because it's going over leafy greens and they will dilute the flavor. Oh, this is gorgeous. We're going to need some color. Chili flakes will do that. Let's say you don't have red pepper or tomato. You don't want to put on strawberries. You can use chili flakes sprinkled on top and it will really, that will be really nice. All right. Only thing I would add is more shallots, which I can do, right? Absolutely gorgeous. We could add a little more lemon. So what you do is you taste the dressing, the sauce, then you mix it, then you taste it again, and you adjust it. If it needs a little sweetness, if it needs more brightness, if it needs more salt, you can do that after you've mixed. That's one of the reasons I almost always serve a salad pre-mixed. I like to control the flavor. So if I put a dressing on top of a salad and serve it like that, then the person has to mix it, and you have to have it in a big enough bowl, and then you don't know quite how it's tasting. Okay, so these chili flakes by Spicely have been my favorite, more than cayenne, crushed chilies. So I just put them in, or I could sprinkle on top of I'm gonna make one and show you, and then I'm gonna shut this off and post it out. I have a lot of different mismatched medium-sized plates. They call them salad plates, but how on earth could this be? This is like old-fashioned salad plate. It's like teeny little, iceberg lettuce, and that's not a salad plate. That's a crepe plate. A salad plate's like my big bowl. This is a salad plate. So I'm gonna take my little tongs. I don't like big tongs. I got rid of them. But these little cute ones, to me, are really handy. manageable. So all I do is put a little bit of this. There's a sticker from something. So I put this on. It's so pretty. And I'll cut some avocado on top, and voila, I'll take a picture of it for you. Get your greens on. They make you happy, young, beautiful, vibrant, disease-free. How can you argue with that? I'll see you guys really soon.